Welcome to this course on Android asynchronous programming and services. My name is Jim Wilson. When we talk about issues like asynchronous programming and services in the context of an Android device, what we're really talking about is how do we provide a responsive user experience. So to get started, what we want to look at is what are some of the challenges to providing a responsive user experience and some of the solutions we have for that. Now in this module, we're first going to talk about what are the course prerequisites, what do we kind of expect you to know before you start this course so you can get the most out of it. What are the issues of performance versus responsiveness? What's the difference in those terms, and what do they mean to us when we're trying to work on a solution on an Android device? What are some of the strategies we have for maintaining responsiveness? And then threading considerations. Whenever we talk about doing something asynchronously, somehow threads come into play. So we're going to talk about those issues. And we're going to talk about something specific to the Android platform called asynchronous tasks. Now, in terms of prerequisites, it's important that you at least have a fundamental knowledge of Java programming. You don't need to be a Java expert, but you should know how to read Java, of course, and hopefully do a little bit of programming with it. If you're familiar with C#, you know that Java is not a very long leap. Some of the classes are different, but basically the programming is still very much the same. You should have some experience building user interface-oriented Android applications. Most of the issues that we talk about in this course have to do with kind of providing a better user experience, so it's important to have some familiarity with building these user interface-oriented applications. And all that really means is having built applications that have activities and that use the Android widgets. And you have a little bit of familiarity with what's called intents on Android, which is this kind of basically messaging architecture that exists. You should know the Android API levels. If you work with Android, you know that with the various versions of the operating system, there are also different levels of the API. Each of those have to do with what's supported, so you should at least kind of know what they are and know a little bit about them. And you should, of course, have some experience using one of the Android development environments. One of the most popular ones, of course, is Eclipse. One I like a lot is the IntelliJ IDE from the JetBrains folks. Either one of those is fine.